how did I go from a dropout, somebody with no prospects, no connections, in debt, to a couple of short years later earning multiple millions online? And I didn't do it through some meme coin. I didn't ape into a meme coin and get lucky. I did it by building two real businesses. And I thought today, why not share with you all the things that the super successful are doing but aren't telling you about. And the reason they're not telling you is because their job is to get more views, get more comments, more likes. And in order to do that, they talk about the next gimmick, the next new shiny thing. They tell you about the things that they think you want to hear about, not the things you need to hear about. So what I'm going to do, and I apologize for this, I'm going to tell you all the things the super successful are talking about and know about, but they talk about in private. And the reason they do that is because they want to get views. And this video might not be that exciting, but it is all you need to be successful. Because let me promise you one thing, you don't need to learn anything new. You can be successful with what you've already got in your brain. You just need to learn how to execute on it properly. And in this video, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you through my proven system to execute on what you already know so that you can be successful too. So I'm going to go to my office, which is up there, share my screen with you and walk you through everything I know about how to execute properly so you can be successful.
So check this out. As I said earlier, like a few years ago, this was me. I was drinking too much, partying too much, didn't really have a clue about anything really. And just a few short years later, kind of everything changed. And I share this with you not to brag, but just to highlight what is possible in quite a small amount of time if you use your time wisely, which is kind of what this is all about. So screenshot here from one of our payment processors doing over 1 million, over 20K in a single day. Now managed to, like, I never thought this would ever be possible, but managed to, like, you know, be able to travel first class, travel around the world as I want. Video here from another payment processor, just showing you doing over, probably can't see, it's pretty small, but doing over 500,000 in this payment processor as well. Again, just to share with you what is possible when you take the information that is already in your head and you apply it correctly. So what we're going to cover in this video is the productivity system used by millionaires, the weekly tracker that I use, the AI tool that is going to really help you that you probably didn't even know exists, and I'm going to give you a little free gift at the end as well. So this is what it's all about. And it comes from a book, Do More in 12 Weeks Than Most People Do in 12 Months. This is what it's all about. This framework is taken from that book. It states that we have a goal that would take most people 12 months to achieve, but we're going to achieve it in 12 weeks. And the goal is supported by two different type of KPIs, a volume KPI and a quality KPI. Now, if you don't know what a KPI is, it stands for Key Performance Indicator. And what that is really just the metrics that we track in order to make sure that we are on target to hit our goal. So under each KPI, so we've got volume to make sure that we're hitting the quantity of the metric, but then we've got quality to make sure that we are hitting not only the volume, but the right type of volume. We're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. We're making sure that it is the right quality in order to hit this 12-week goal. And in a minute, I'll give you a real life example of what this actually looks like in a business, but it can be applied to your personal life as well if you want to, whatever it is that you want to do, lose weight, for example, etc., etc. So let's look at volume KPI. As you can see, we've got different boxes that go towards this KPI. And so everything flows from like the smallest part to the biggest part, which is then your goal. So we're reverse engineering things basically from a volume perspective and a quality perspective. So what this right here is going to be one of the main key things that we need to do in order to achieve our goal. So whether it's like, let's say, for example, our 12-week goal is to lose a stone in weight, or 10 pounds in weight, whatever metric system you use, 10 kilos in weight. So this might be eat less than 2,000 calories. And so then a key action here might be to plan out a meal plan to make sure that you are eating less than 2,000 calories. And this one might be to like go to the supermarket when your stomach is full, so you're not tempted to buy other things. And so we have basically our metrics that are going to help us achieve this volume KPI. And then what we have on the other side is the quality, because there's no point doing things and just doing them for the sake of doing them. We need to do them and make sure that we're doing them properly, make sure that we're actually putting quality into this system, because it is really a system. We're putting quality into it so we can make sure that we're hitting not only the volume, but the right quality of the volume as well. So if we look at like calories, for example, for losing weight, I'm no weight loss expert, but I do know that not all calories are created equally. I don't think they are anyway. So maybe you need to make sure that you're getting the right quality of calories. You're not just consuming X amount of calories. Any fitness gurus out there, apologies if that's technically incorrect, but you get the purpose of the point I'm trying to make. And so you'll see all of these arrows, they point inwards because we're starting at the smallest thing and we're working backwards. And the mindset, the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what volume is required so it becomes unreasonable that I will not hit my goal? What volume is required to make it unreasonable that I won't hit my goal? And the same with the quality. So if we're pairing like volume with great quality as well, what is unreasonable that I will not hit my goal? And that is what we need to, that's what we need to ask ourselves. So everything feeds back. And let me give you a real life business example that's going to make this really, really clear for you. So let's say we want to get to 10K per month. And for this example, I've used a marketing agency, because that's my background. So the volume KPI here, if you can see, it says 2 clients closed per month at 2K. If we get 2 clients closed per month at 2K, we're going to get to 10K per month. Instead of now, like I've got this goal of 10K a month, which is what a lot of people might have, we've now got, okay, I now need to get 5 clients. So we're getting more granular. We're getting clearer on what the goal is. And now we just go one step back. So we say, okay, 2 clients per month is cool. That's gonna get me to 10K actually, a lot quicker than 12 weeks, but hey ho. This is purely kind of just an example. But in order to get 2 clients per month at 2K, what do I need to do in order to do that? Well, I need to get 20 sales calls taken per month with a 10% close rate. So maybe this particular business example, they know that they close at 10%, so they close 1 in 10 people that they speak to. So in order to get 2 clients per month, they need 20 sales calls per month. So we're just getting even more granular on the goal every single time we take a step back. So how do we get 20 sales calls per month? Well, we have to contact 20 prospects through cold email every single month. If I contact 20,000 prospects, it's probably quite unreasonable that I won't get at least 20 sales calls. And it's unreasonable that if I have 20 sales calls in a month, I won't sign 2 clients. And it's unreasonable that if I don't sign 2 clients per month at 2K per month, within 12 weeks, I'll get to 10K per month. So we're looking back, we're going backwards the whole time, getting more and more granular. So we go from a big, hairy, scary goal of say 10K per month, and we zoom in, we zoom in, we zoom in, we zoom in, and we see the day-to-day activities that we need to do. We've got to contact 20,000 prospects through cold email. Okay, but we can go one step further. We can purchase 40 domains and 80 email addresses or 80 email accounts so that we can contact 20 prospects through cold email. And this could go on and on and on, and it would do in a real life scenario. It would go on and on and on. So, okay, so how do we purchase 40 domains and 80 emails? And then, it just becomes like a spider's web. So that's the volume side of things. But volume is, as we mentioned, doesn't quite cut it, isn't enough. We now need to look at the quality side of things as well. So we know that in order for this to work, we need to close at a 10% close rate. We need a 10% close rate on sales calls. So we need to make sure that we have a 10% close rate on sales calls. So what do we do to make sure from a quality perspective that this is actually going to work? We might hire a sales coach and we might review all sales calls. And we also need to make sure that we have a 0.1% appointment booking rate. So if we contact 20 prospects, we need to get 20 sales calls on the calendar, which is a 0.1% appointment booking rate from cold emails. Even if we get this part right, and we do get a 10% close rate, if this part falls down, then this part doesn't even matter. If we can't get calls on the calendar, then we're not going to be able to close them. And this is, as I say, just an example, and it's something that you can take and create and make your own version of. But let's kind of follow through with this. So we need a 0.1% appointment booking rate. Okay, what can I do that it would be, I'd be extremely unlucky if I wasn't able to get a 0.1% appointment booking rate? Well, I could test different scripts, different copies, different offers to see which one my market resonates with the most. Maybe one script gets a 0.05% appointment booking rate, so it's not good enough. But another one gets a 0.2% appointment booking rate. Well, now I can focus my efforts on the 0.2% script that's going to get me these results a lot easier. And as I mentioned earlier, this is not sexy. It is not exciting. It is not a new shiny thing. It is the boring stuff that actually makes all the difference. It's these things that we do. It's very monotonous. And it's not exciting, but these are the things that grow a business. And so we could test 5 different scripts. Maybe we could consult an expert to make sure that we are putting our best foot forward. So this is an example of a system that's going to help you achieve a goal that would take most people 12 months and do it in 12 weeks. Now, here's where things get really, really cool. So if we jump over here, this is the 12-week tracker. What we've got here, and this is an example of something that I actually want to achieve in my business, which is to get to 100K per month in new client revenue. We're above 100K per month in revenue, but I want to get to 100K per month purely from new clients, because we get taken over from, there's revenue from older clients that keeps on coming in. But for us, I want to get to 100K per month in new client revenue every single month. So what do I need to do in order to make that happen? Well, I need to book 200 sales calls per month. Now, could I book less sales calls and still hit this goal? Most likely. But I want to be asking myself constantly, would it be unreasonable that if I did get 200 sales calls that I wouldn't hit 100K? Yeah, that would be unreasonable. So I could probably do this with 100 sales calls, but it's unreasonable that I won't do it if I get 200 sales calls per month. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to err on the side of caution all the time, because it needs to be unreasonable that if I do this, I won't achieve my goal. That would become unreasonable. So 200 sales calls per month. I email 50,000 prospects per month in order to book 200 sales calls. So that is my input in order to get my output of 200 calls. So another input is going to be to maintain the health of emails. Little side note, when you start sending out cold emails, as an example, what happens is the reputation and the health of those emails starts to decline. And if you don't do anything about it, you can send out all the emails you want. They just land in spam and you'll never get any sales calls booked. So for me, in order to get to 200 sales calls, I need to have healthy email addresses and contact the right amount of people. If I have both these things, do both these things, it would be unreasonable that I wouldn't get 200 sales calls. If I got 200 sales calls, it would be unreasonable that I won't get to 100K per month in new client revenue. So I just need to take a look at my goal and then zoom in and see what is required in order to hit it. So that is my volume side of things. And now I've got my quality side of things. So close at 25% on calls. So if I close at 25% on calls from 200 sales calls, then I will get 50 clients per month, which is more than my goal. If I get 50 clients a month, I will breeze past my goal. But if I close at 25%, it is extremely unreasonable that I will not get 100K per month. I could close at like 10%, but I want to close at 25%. So that is a quality goal. So what are the inputs to make sure that I hit this quality goal? Well, I need to review 1 sales call per day. And then I need to speak with the sales team every single day. And as I say, guys, this stuff is not transformative. It is maybe stuff that you instinctively, inherently know, but you're just not being either told about it in this way, you haven't been reminded about it, and sometimes it just takes people to just pull back the curtain and say, like, this is what is required. You don't need the next new shiny thing, you just need to execute day in, day out. And so at the end of each week, you set a meeting with yourself, physically set a meeting with yourself in your calendar for half an hour, and you go through these and you say, right, did I book 200 sales calls per month? Yes or no? Did I close at 25%? Did I review a sales call every day? Did I speak with a sales team every day? Did I maintain the health of emails? Did I email 50,000 prospects each month? Or for this example, like 12,500 per week. So each week you would obviously go through and you would look at, have I generated 25K? Because, we're doing this weekly and this is a monthly goal. And if you did this, if you did this, if you did this and you did this, but you didn't hit your output goals, you hit your input goals, but you didn't hit your output goals, then guess what the next thing you need to do is? You need to question whether your inputs are correct in order to achieve your desired outputs. So maybe speaking with a sales team every day and reviewing one sales call every day is not the right inputs. Maybe I need a new sales guy. Maybe I need a new sales team, because it doesn't matter if I review a sales call every day. If all the sales calls went really badly and the sales team are really crappy, then I'm not going to close at 25% just because I speak to them every day. Maybe they've never done sales before. And maybe my input needs to be speak with 5 potential sales reps every day until I find the right one. So if you're hitting your inputs, but you're not hitting your outputs, then there's 2 things that could be happening. You've either got the wrong inputs, or there is a lag or a delay between the activity and the outcome. And sometimes there is. So like, just because I email 50,000 people does not mean instantly money's going to land in my bank account. It means when I email 50,000 people, they're going to see the email. They might book in a call. They might book in a call for 3 days' time. I then speak to that prospect. They might then spend a week thinking about whether they want to work with us or not before actually saying, yes, I do. And then I send over the invoice, the agreement. That takes another 2 days to go through, and then they pay. So even though I did the activity, the outcome did happen, and it was the right activity, the right input for the right output, but there was just a time delay. And what you don't want to do is confuse a time delay with the wrong activity, the wrong input, sorry. You could be doing the right input, but there's just time that needs to delay. So be careful of that. And so every single week I go through and I have a conversation with myself, and I tick all these every single week. And so if I do this for 12 weeks, is it unreasonable that I will not hit my goal? So here's a template that you can come in and fill out. Maybe there's 3 outputs, maybe there's 3 inputs. You can tweak it, make it your own. So there's a really great quote: if we take care of the minutes, the years will take care of themselves. Again, I'm not sure who said it, but it's extremely true. If we focus on the day-to-day activities, if we focus on the now, what am I doing right now, then the years are going to take care of themselves. And there are some tools that you can use to make your life a lot easier. So you've obviously got the weekly tracker, but there's a few more things that you should use. And one of them is a daily tracker. So I use, not sponsored by these people, but people that know me would think that I am, because I talk about it all the time. I have a Remarkable, which is like a notepad, but it's like an electronic version. And I use this bad boy every single day. And I have like a little template on there where I come in each morning and I write down what I've got to do for the day. And I just go through and execute it. And it means that I'm constantly staying on track. I use this, the 12-week tracker, as a kind of slightly more big picture. And then on my Remarkable, I keep track of day to day what I got to do on my daily planner. And you can use templates and things like that, which is really cool. And it's just quite enjoyable to use as well. But that's enough about Remarkable. That is not what this video is about. Another one is meetings with yourself. So we talked about having meetings with yourself at the end of each week to review what happened in that week. But also, when you are using your daily tracker, you're going to have activities that you need to do and you need to complete on a daily basis. And what I like to do is I like to make meetings with myself, put actual time in my calendar and block it out. So I can turn up, and I try to do this the day before. So then I kind of sit at my desk the following day, and my day is like scheduled by the hour inside my calendar. So I know that like from 9 till 10, I've got to do this. From 10 till 11, I've got to do this. 11 till 12, I've got to do this. And As we said, if we take care of the minutes, the years are going to take care of themselves. This is what people are doing behind the scenes. Very dull, very boring, as I keep saying, but it's the stuff that moves the needle. And it's the needle moving activities that move the needle. Another one is, so this is really more about making sure that you've got this daily planner, you've got your weekly planner, you've got your 12-week plan, you've got everything in your calendar, everything's ready to rock and roll. You're going to be the most productive, you're going to be implementing absolutely everything. But then like distractions get in the way. So a few things that you can do. So Self-Control app, for example, is a app that you can download for free. And what it does is it blocks certain websites for certain amounts of time that you tell it to. I'll give you an example. I just, not that I ever go on Facebook anymore, but I added Facebook as a want to block. So you try and get on Facebook and it just doesn't work. So you basically just put in a bunch of websites that you want it to block. You tell it how long you want it to block it for, and then you hit it, and then you can't get on it. I'm sure if you really tried, you could, you could figure out how to undo it. But it acts as a really great way to just keep you dialed in all day, every day, dialed in, so you're not getting distracted. Another one is your phone. Keep your phone in a completely different room. You do not need your phone in order to do all the things that we talked about. In order to go through your 12-week planner, your kind of war map, you don't need it. So leave it elsewhere. Social media, stay off social media. You don't need your phone, you don't need social media. Things like your computer, make sure that you don't have notifications, you don't have emails that pop up on your side of your screen. The best way to stay focused is to remove distraction. You can't really stay focused. The only thing you can do is remove all the things that will stop you being focused. That's what I found is the best way to stay focused. And when you stay focused, it makes executing things like this really straightforward. And you just reverse engineer everything. So this is it. This is the thing that people don't talk about because it doesn't drive views, it's not sexy, but it is excessively important. And if you want success in your business, in your life, then you need to implement and execute on a daily basis at a level that other people don't. That's the key, is to execute at a level that others don't. And you can only do that by reverse engineering how to execute at a higher level. So that pretty much wraps up this video. If you want to find out how we help people pass these videos, then there's a link in the description. Whether you click it or not, entirely up to you, makes no ounce of difference to me. I will include the link to this spreadsheet down below, the tracker template. And if you got value from the video, and if you liked the video, there is a button for that. If you want to see more helpful videos like this, then consider hitting that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.